Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hey, Suzanne. Hi.
Hi. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
Thank you.
Good. So, oh, strange. Okay. Oh, okay. Hi. Um, I'd like to welcome everybody to the third installment of our informational webinar series on the course Bridging Yoga and Mental Health Care that's happening in Florence in a couple of months. Actually, February, March, April, a little over a couple of months now. And Joanne and I are in constant communication with each other, working out logistics, developing the course material, getting CE credits lined up. So we're really excited about it. I see a few familiar faces. I see some new faces. So welcome back, those of you who have been on the previous webinars, and welcome to the newcomers as well. Before we get started, I'm just curious, where is everyone located? Where are you guys from?
Well, this is Robin, and I live in Pawcatuck, Connecticut,
Okay.
which is on the border with Rhode Island, Westerly, Rhode Island.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm James Kurtz, and I'm from San Francisco, California, but I'm in Cape Coral, Florida right now.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome. Anybody
Hi,
else want to offer?
Yeah. Hi, this is Christina Stimmen, and I am in Davis, California, just outside of Sacramento.
Oh, okay. Hi, Christina. Nice to hear your
Hi.
voice. I know that the three of us have been corresponding through email, you
Yes.
and I.
Yes,
Good,
very
great.
excited. Yeah, very excited to be a part of this evening's discussion.
Great. Happy to have you. Good to have you.
And I'm Lisa, and I'm in Salida, Colorado,
Okay.
which is a small little mountain town in central Colorado.
Okay. You're Lisa, the Lisa Julie team, right?
I am. I don't know where Julie is, but yes, I am.
And I'm Clara.
Welcome back, Lisa. Nice to see your face again.
Thank you. And it was all set up, and then my cat loves to drink out of my glass, and she knocked the glass over. So I've got this broken glass and water everywhere. So I'm like,
Oh no. By the
So
way,
I think I know everyone a little bit. So you know that I'm Joanne. I don't have to introduce myself.
By the way, I should mention this, and those of you who have been on previous webinars, you already know that this is automatically recorded, video recorded. I'm using obviously you know this, we're using the Zoom software. If you would rather not have your face recorded, you can go to the bottom of your screen, and I think you press stop video. Christina, I know that you are audio only, so if you prefer to be audio only, you do have the option of doing that. Because what we do at the end of each webinar is I have the software compressed and converted to an MP4 file, and then I upload it onto our Facebook page. However, I also have a YouTube channel that I somehow forgot about, and webinar number 2 is now loaded and available for viewing on my YouTube channel, and this one will also go on the YouTube channel as well for those of you who don't have Facebook. And if the web address for that channel it's just www.youtube.com/Suzanne Ludlam, my name, and you'll get to my channel. And I have to apologize, it's not a dedicated work professional channel because I opened it a while ago when my daughter got married. So if you're curious, you can watch my daughter's wedding video. But if you go to the YouTube channel and you want to look at webinar number 2, it's just titled Feb 7 webinar, February 7th webinar. So tonight's discussion, we will be covering, actually I'll hand the baton over to Joanne in a moment. We're going to be talking about some of the major takeaway points from the course. And then when Joanne is done, she'll hand it back to me and I will talk a little bit more about travel logistics. Last time I talked about some of the things that you can do during your free time, because as you all probably are aware, the coursework is in the morning and you'll have afternoons and evenings free. And from my research, I have not been in Florence before. I don't know if any of you have, but it is an absolutely amazingly beautiful, historic, rich, art-rich city, and very easy to navigate. Well, I'm not going to get into it. So let me. I tend to get really excited, and I get ahead of myself in conversation. So at this point, let me hand it back over to Joanne if you would like to talk about some of the takeaway points.
Thank you, Suzanne. Well, Suzanne and I bring years of experience with our personal practice of yoga, our study, our work with clients, and even our own healing based on our yoga experience. So I'm very excited about bringing all of this experience and information to you. Just a few of the takeaways have to do with trauma, an overview of current theories of psychological trauma, and the diagnostic features, what to look for in your clients. Also, I was trained traditionally as a psychotherapist, and we learned nothing about the body in my training, nothing about the breath, about the brain, about the nervous system. So for the people who are mental health professionals, I'm working to help remedy that situation by including some information, basic information about the physiology of the normal nervous system and the traumatized nervous system, because that is the system that yoga works with so beautifully. It almost seems like yoga was designed to heal our nervous system. So we're also going to offer an in-depth overview of yoga philosophy and of the subtle physiology of yoga for those of you who aren't that familiar with it. Because we're going to have a diverse group. It's an interdisciplinary group. So some people will be knowledgeable about some areas and know very little about others. So we're going to have a wide scope. So we're going to present information about the benefits of yoga practice for PTSD, anxiety, and depression. And you'll actually experience those because we're going to have classes in the morning, your own personal yoga practice, which we'll be presenting. And then we're also going to have practicums with scripts for those of you who aren't that comfortable teaching yoga and yogic breathing and relaxation. For those of you who are already yoga teachers, you have the opportunity to write your own scripts in consultation with Suzanne and I. So you'll come away, in any case, with a solid script that you can use with your clients in the sessions. And we're going to have scripts for chair yoga, breathing practices, and yoga nidra, which is the yogic sleep. So I also expect that if you are not familiar with yoga, with teaching yoga, your confidence level will go way up as a result of these practicums. So I'm somewhat trained in somatic psychology, which is a cutting edge addition to general practice of psychotherapy. And so I'm going to present a section on yoga as a somatic psychotherapy and how to use yoga in conjunction with somatic psychotherapy, both of those, which is very exciting. And and of course, some other takeaways are going to be the informal conversations that we have, when we're walking down the main street of Florence, looking at the sculpture of David by Michelangelo, or over a meal at a trattoria. We'll have plenty of time to enrich our understanding of this field informally. So I also I don't know if you have any questions at this point based on anything that I've said.
I am somebody who does not have very much yoga experience. I mean, I have some, so I'm more interested, obviously, in how to introduce the body into psychotherapy. When you say you have studied somatic psychology, is that like the somatic experience at SE stuff, or will you be incorporating that, or how is
Yes.
that what you're talking about? Okay.
Somatic experiencing is the modality that I've studied.
Okay.
And I started that course already knowing that I wanted to compare yoga therapy with somatic experiencing. So I have a special unit to present on integrating somatic experiencing with yoga practice for your sessions, for your clients. Yep.
Yeah, because I'm having a little bit of a hard time imagining. I mean, so those of you who are yoga therapists, which I didn't even know that was such a thing, I'm like, oh, I can't imagine asking my clients, okay, now let's get the pad out. And
no, it's actually, it can be much more subtle than that.
Good.
Yeah.
The way I like to work is with someone in a conventional office, which may be quite small, having them wearing their conventional clothes. They may have just come from a business meeting, so that we can bring in yoga in a very subtle way that will work for them without any, strangeness.
Okay.
Yeah, glad you asked.
I'd like to add something to that too, Joanne.
Mm-hmm.
This might be obvious, but we're not teaching, for the mental health people out there, we're not teaching you to become yoga teachers. That's a formal training. It's completely out of our realm of planning for this course. What we are doing is we are presenting you with a lot of the background, the philosophical background, and the practical applications of a yoga practice as they relate to the mental health arena. So you, as mental health professionals who work in an office with furniture, with your clients, you can adapt and you can incorporate some of these very easily accessible yoga practices in your therapy setting. And I'm not saying you're going to have your clients go into down dog. We're not doing anything like that. Yoga is a full spectrum of practice that is not just what too many of us are exposed to in the West through billboard and magazine covers and McDonald's ads, believe it or not. I've seen that too. It encompasses a deep self-inquiry process, breathing practices that can help regulate the autonomic nervous system. We'll be talking a lot about that because breath work is truly fundamental to a lot of this, a lot of what you're going to be learning. And frankly, the breath is probably the cheapest and the easiest way to improve your overall health and your overall, including your emotional regulation. So we'll be covering a lot of that. So I don't want you to be nervous about, well, I don't have a lot of yoga experience, so am I going to be able to use this in my practice? Yes. What we have specifically cherry-picked out of the yoga milieu for you is something that is directly applicable in the mental health arena. So is that
Absolutely. I mean, and I certainly understand that it's more than just the what are the positions, asanas or whatever. I mean, I know it's more yogas, and I've been practicing meditation for years, so it's not that I don't understand a little bit bigger picture, but I have wondered, I'm in a little mountain town, and I spent a lot of time in California, so I'm already seen as a little odd. So I want to have something that isn't going to be too, I have to make sure.
You need to call it yoga. I do yoga with people, and I don't even call it yoga. They don't even know they're doing yoga, and they're like, "Wow, this is really cool."
I think also you can say yoga and meditation are interchangeable. It's the same thing, really.
It is.
So when you look at it that way, it doesn't matter. Because when you're doing asanas, you are like in a meditation. When you're meditating, you are doing yoga practices.
Exactly.
Well, and it's mindfulness. So
What was that, Christina?
I was just saying it's really a mindfulness practice, and mindfulness can be breath work, it can be body work, it can be so many different things. So I think that's an easier way to maybe frame that for individuals who feel like yoga is some sort of West Coast approach
Right.
to how to be in one's body. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I have a very, very basic example. For example, let's say you're sitting with a client who just had some kind of very upsetting experience, and they're talking and talking, and you can see that they're not breathing. So I don't know if you might use an intervention, physiological intervention at that point anyway, but with this training, you'll learn, of course, the intervention is just to ask them to, you could say, oh, excuse me for a minute, how's your breathing right now? Or, excuse me, how are you feeling right now? What's happening in your body? And the client may not be able to answer, in which case you can say, well, I have a technique which would really help you at this moment to feel more calm or grounded or whatever, and then we can go back to your story. So when you do the intervention, you will have a wealth of background information and practice behind you. It actually has a different vibration, has a different effect on the client and the session if you bring all of that knowledge, experience, and wisdom to that one intervention. You'll really know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. So that's
right.
just
I'm looking
very
forward
basic
to it.
example.
I love the idea, and it's something like when Julie and I were talking about what do we want to add to our practice, it's like, I want the body somehow. And so, because I wasn't trained either with that,
You're going to get a lot of the body. we're going to be all over the body in this course. Don't take that the wrong way.
So,
are there any other questions before we move on? I'm sorry, Joanne, did I interrupt?
No, it's okay. But one reason why I asked if there were questions is because I'm going to shift the topic now to talk about the hotels, and then Suzanne's going to talk about transportation.
Right.
So, wanted to make sure that we were finished with that section. So, of course, you can contact either of us anytime if you have other questions or want to have a phone conversation. Mm-hmm. No problem.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask a question real quick? I mean,
sure.
You're saying you're going to go into the hotels and stuff, but actually the reason I'm here is I really want to hear more about what we're going to be learning, because I want to make a decision whether I'm going to go. And then I know Italy is going to be wonderful,
mm-hmm.
but I kind of want to, is there a way to go through like kind of the outline of the course or just kind of have some kind of discussion about the topics?
Well,
before going into the hotel, you already did it already, or
we did it very briefly in seminar number 2.
Mm-hmm.
But
what? Also, we have a detailed outline, which is not a secret. I can send it to you. I'm going to be posting it on our Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
So that will eliminate any mystery about what we're going to present.
Well, I just want to hear you talk about it because I want to find out if I want to go. It's going to be a lot of money for me to go to Italy and do all this. It sounds very exciting, but at the same time, I want to kind of see is this something I want to do, So it's just a request. If everyone doesn't want that, then that's okay. I'll just listen. So.
I think that I think it's your desire to learn more right now is valuable enough where we could probably devote the rest of the webinar to covering it a little bit more. And then, hey, we could always have a 4th webinar and then we can talk, because what I was going to talk about was the travel logistics once you get into Italy, because there are several options for getting from the airport to Florence if you're not flying into Florence and that sort of thing. We could cover that in another webinar.
It's fine.
Well, I'm just asking for a brief, like maybe 5 minutes. That's all. I don't want to interfere with the program you've already intended for tonight. I just like 5 minutes again, kind of discussing the outline of the courses of the week, and that's all. I mean,
okay. Joanne, you want to speak to that, or do you want me to?
No, it would be much easier for me if James could watch webinar number 2. But if you want to take it, go ahead.
Well, okay. Is that on the website? Is that what you're saying? I didn't know it was on. I thought I had to tune in while it was happening, and I wasn't able to.
Webinar number two is on the Facebook page, and it's also on my YouTube channel. It was the one that we recorded on February 7th.
Okay, I didn't realize that, so I will just look at that. That's fine.
But if you look at that and you still have unanswered questions, please reach out to me and or Joanne, and we will answer all of your questions, because we really want you to make a well-informed decision. This is a big investment. It's a lot of money to get there. We think it's going to be very well worth it. But you need to make that well-informed decision. So if you want to just watch webinar 2, one was taken down. We had some glitches with it, so we had to take it down. But webinar number 2 is on my YouTube channel. It's on the Facebook page, Bridging Yoga and Mental Health Care. So I would say go ahead and watch that on either one of those 2 platforms. And if you still have questions, get to us right away, and we're usually really good about answering within 24 hours, like even within 12 hours. She's on the West Coast right now. I'm on the East Coast.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I actually prefer talking about the content, but there has been some confusion about the housing. So Suzanne and I had decided to talk about that, and then the transportation.
Okay.
So I hope that works. I hope that works for you. So right now I'm holding a block of rooms on Booking.com for both hotels, the Villa La Stella in Florence and the hotel in the spa town overlooking Pisa. It is possible to contact the hotels directly. Villa La Stella is offering a slightly cheaper price if you book directly with them, as long as they still have rooms. I'm holding these rooms in case they sell out and will still have availability. For example, Booking.com is offering the same room for 70 euros a night, which Villa La Stella is offering for 65 euros a night. I'd be happy to speak with anyone about, the difference in price and how to proceed. The hotel in San Giuliano Terme is called an apartment hotel. Each building contains like little condos that each one is different. Some of them have 2 bedrooms, some of them have 1 bedroom, different numbers of beds. So the prices vary by the actual apartment that you want to stay in. So it's too complicated to present a simplistic view of it. It's really much better to speak with me about that. That's for the 3-day excursion after the course is over, where we'll have a little bit of consultation time, but mostly it's just going to be relaxation and vacation to unwind before we fly home.
Right. That's not part of the course. That's the optional excursion after the course ends.
Right. So that I hope that clears up any questions that you may have about the housing. And if not, please contact me. Also, you probably realize that we'll be paying in euros rather than in American dollars, or at least the price will be based on euros. So, and the exchange rate fluctuates a little bit from week to week. It's been holding pretty steady, but it can change. So,
Joanne?
Yes.
This is Christina. So I'm traveling with my husband, and I'm wondering, these rates, are they for a shared room space, or is there an option for a single room, for 2 people?
Oh, yeah, they have single rooms for 1 person. They have twin rooms with twin beds. They have rooms for 2 people with larger beds. All the options are open. So
okay, and is that through the Booking.com, or would I just contact the villa directly?
Well, as I mentioned, at this point you have a choice.
Okay.
Whatever you prefer, whatever you think is easier. If you contact the villa directly, you don't have to speak with me unless you want. But if you want to go through booking.com, then you do have to speak with me. So you can,
Okay.
yeah, so that, it's not hard. The whole process isn't hard.
Super. So I can coordinate that with you directly if I want to.
Absolutely. Yep.
Super. Thank you.
You're welcome. So that's basically my report on the hotels. So, and we have about 5 minutes left of the seminar. That's one of the reasons why I didn't want to go into the content, is because we're limited to about 30 minutes in this broadcast. So Suzanne, would you like to talk about transportation?
I would love to talk about transportation. Let me put my eyes on. For those of you who are flying directly into Rome, there's one discount airline that we found that does fly into Rome, and that's Aer Lingus. But it's an Irish airline, so you always have a connection through Dublin. So if you don't mind connections, you can fly through Dublin on Aer Lingus, or you can fly directly into Florence, but you'll probably have a connection through one of the major European cities, most likely Frankfurt. If you want to fly into Rome on a regular air, like United or Delta or American, I don't know some of the other major carriers that fly in, but I'm sure that they all have direct flights from U.S. cities into Rome. I'm flying from Washington Dulles directly into Rome. Now, to get from Rome to Florence, I was mistaken. I might have misspoken in the last webinar and said that you can get a train directly from the airport into Florence. That's not true. I did some more research. You have to get to the main train station in the center of, I'm getting a message about, okay, we've got 9 minutes left. You can take either bus, taxi, or a small train from Rome Airport. It's the Leonardo da Vinci Airport. It also oftentimes goes by its old name, and what is the old name of the airport? Fiumicino Airport, but the airport code in Rome is FCO. So when you're booking your flight, you want to fly into FCO. That's the airport code. The bus from the airport to the main train terminal in the city, which is called Roma Termini, or Rome Terminal. It's Roma Termini. That's the main train terminal in the city of Rome. So the airport's a little bit outside the city. To get from the airport, from FCO into Roma Termini, you can take a taxi, you could take a bus, and the bus line is TerraVision, TerraVision. It's the TerraVision bus. It's about an hour ride. It runs about every 45 minutes. It's €5, and you can get that directly at the airport at the far end of Terminal 3. And the internet's a wonderful thing. You could just Google Rome Airport map. You can Google TerraVision Airport bus and pick your city. That's how I found a lot of this information. Another option is the Leonardo Express train. That's a faster mode of transportation. That it runs about every 15 to 30 minutes. It's €14. You can book it online, or you can get a ticket right there at the airport. Plenty of seats available on that. And then the other option is a taxi, and the taxis are about €40. So obviously they're more expensive. Once you get to Roma Termini, that's where you take the high-speed train up to Florence. Those you need to buy in advance. You want to go to the website Italia Rail, ITALIARAIL. And by the way, all of this is going to be provided to you in upcoming emails, so you don't have to keep up with what I'm saying. You want to go from Roma Termini to Florence, to the train station in Florence. It's about an hour and a half ride. I'm doing that option instead of flying directly into Florence because I want to see the countryside, quite frankly. The economy ticket is $26. First class ticket is $39, or business class is $39. I was told by my husband's boss, who was there last year with his family, that definitely go business class. He said it's way, way better and much nicer than economy.
Was that euros or dollars?
Those are dollars.
Good. Okay.
So I bought my Italia Rail ticket today online, and I got a business class ticket. There's a $5 free fee with it, so it cost me a total of $44. Be careful though, when you go to book, look at the price, because you have to opt out of getting a year membership, because a year membership is going to up the price by about $20. Now, if you're going to be traveling all over Europe on your rail, it's worth the membership. But if you're only going over there for this course, and you're probably not going to be going there in the next 12 months, don't get the membership. So they sneak that charge in and put it in your total. You have to watch out. You just have to go back one, hit the back arrow once, and then choose that you don't want the membership. So that's the only ticket that you really need to buy in advance, obviously, except for your airline ticket, is the train ticket from Roma Termini to into Florence. And I think that's it. Let's see. I did check out WOW Airlines, WOW. They fly into Milan. They don't fly into Rome. Primera Air, let's see. Forget about them. They only fly into London and Paris. So if you want to kind of hopscotch your way across Europe, you can. Those are discount airlines. But the major carriers, everybody has their own favorite that they fly. And I think most of the major carriers will probably fly into Rome. But like I said, everything that I just presented to you, I'm going to be sending out to everyone in an email. Obviously I don't have everyone's email. As you register, I'll get all of your contact information, and then I'll be sending all the people who have already registered an updated email with the logistical information. So having said that, we've got about 4 minutes left. Are there any questions about travel, about transfers?
If you fly directly into the Florence airport, what's the easiest way of getting to the hotel?
I'm sorry.
I can answer that.
Okay.
Because I've done it. Taking a taxi is the way to get from the Florence airport to the hotel. It's not too far.
Isn't it like about 15-minute ride?
I don't remember exactly. I did it 6 years ago, but it's not too far.
Thank you, Joanne.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you would like, once we're close to departure date, you can opt in or opt out of sharing your email with everyone else. If you guys would like to coordinate with each other for sharing a taxi, if you want to take a taxi from the airport to the train terminal, if you want to share a taxi from Florence train station to the hotel, we'll just send us an email, say, yeah, put me on the group email list, and we'll add you to the group email list.
Yeah, I'd like to offer the opportunity for the people who are going to network with each other in many ways before we actually meet.
Mm-hmm. So just to
sorry.
remind, I'm sorry, somebody say something?
I did, Julie. I had a question. Does the hotel have bikes that we could use? Do you know?
I'm not aware of bicycles for at the hotel. What I do know is that there's a bus that stops at the bottom of the driveway that goes directly into the center of Florence, which takes about 15 minutes. It was very easy.
Okay. Just a quick reminder, the early bird deadline expires after February 26th, and after that date, the price will go up. So if you are planning on registering, I do encourage you to do so before then. And any other questions that come up after this webinar ends, send us an email. You're welcome to post on the Facebook page. If you want to have an open forum discussion, go ahead and post. Anybody can comment. if you feel that you want some more information either about the course itself or about travel, and you would like to have a fourth webinar, we have no problem scheduling a fourth webinar. Send us an email or post it on the Facebook page, and we can plan from there. So we have about 30 seconds left. Hate to kind of hurry this through, but it's going to cut us off whether we're done or not. I want to say thank
I'd
you.
like to thank everybody.
Thank you
Thanks,
so much
everyone.
for hopping on, and we look forward to seeing everybody in Florence, and please keep in touch.
All right, take care.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.